What do you say, everybody? Welcome to Last Call. We talk Alabama sports and a lot of other stuff this time of year. Brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. The Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses at Dancing Rabbit. It's golf season. The weather's fantastic today. Hour and change from Tuscaloosa, hour and a half or so, two and change from Birmingham. But it's a great place because you got everything you need. Award-winning golf. The Azaleas, the Oaks, two great 18-hole courses. You got the Timeout Sports Lounge. You got Philip M. Steakhouse. You have the Timeout Sports Lounge with 4 teams left in college basketball. That's where you want to go. They'll have the games on the big screen TV, and you can lay out wagers just like you were in Vegas. All right. I wanted to say all of that to say, hey, we're going to talk some ball today, different type of balls, basketball, football, tennis, baseball. How about Bama baseball? Roll Tide. All right, here's the show. All right, there he is, Jake Coker. Let me start with baseball today. Tip of the cap to you, boys. Getting it done. No hitter, sweep of Florida, and then Auburn comes in and they get their number 5 butts swept right out of Tuscaloosa.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Wake up, buddy. You better pay attention to this baseball.
All right. Hey, this is what we talked about. You start winning, we'll start paying attention. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Walk off on Saturday. Yeah. Walk off on Saturday. Yeah. Walked off Saturday. Or as some people say, Saturday. So some people will say Saturday, but it's actually Saturday. However you say it.
Hey, now I'm pissed I missed it.
Yeah. Look at you, man. Got your juices flowing.
That's right. The play don't care who makes it.
Yeah, like I love Bama baseball, and you guys know I've been critical of the money that gets wasted on these sports because I think football just drives the bus. But man, I'll tell you, when you're winning and you win big games like that, SEC baseball is so tough. So good for them. Good for them. So I start there. But then you and I were kind of talking before the show, the show prep meeting, guys. And you were telling me that there's like a bunch of these guys that got in the transfer portal haven't gotten transferred. Like they're stuck out there. Didn't you say there's like 1,400 guys like that got in the portal and now they don't have anywhere to go?
It's like 6,000 guys in total entered the transfer portal between FBS and FCS, and 1,200 of them didn't get signed.
Yikes.
They just jumped in and everybody was like, nope. I just go home, I guess. Time to jump into the real world. I tell you what, man, the grass isn't always greener. Kind of like Nate Oates talking about North Carolina. Not always greener, You think this is the problem right here, man. A lot of these kids, they don't realize how good they got it. Scholarship and just a place to play football. Free room and board, free tuition, and it ain't all that bad. I know my time was pretty awesome. Didn't what? Got your room paid for, got to eat, play football, go to school. That wasn't a bad deal.
No, not too shabby.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, "Man, it's just insane." And I was like, "Yeah, I'd have been pretty happy with $5,000 a semester. I mean, that'd have been good for me."
Right.
Nothing was great for me.
Yeah.
I
always wonder what your NIL value would be. Not to rub it in. I'm just curious. Like, just based on like these projections and stuff, like the way that the world is right now, how that would have changed your life. And I'm not like a lot of times I do dig at you on this, but just like from a serious standpoint, this has transformed the way that college sports, particularly football, are conducted.
Oh yeah, I mean, the real NIL high evaluation would have been when I was leaving Florida State and going somewhere else. I mean, you think about Jackson Arnold leaving Oklahoma, and he had a few starts. I didn't have any starts at Florida State, and had no starts, but the hype. I don't know if you remember. I didn't have Twitter at the time, but I remember the pressure because of the just the hype machine around me coming out of Florida State.
Yeah.
I just know that that would have generated some NIL. I'm not saying it would have been anywhere near what Bryce made or anything like that, but having said that, I think Jackson Arnold made $1.2 million going to Auburn last year, and he ultimately wasn't the starter. So it just kind of blows my mind what's being thrown out there.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that Alabama wouldn't spend that kind of money on an unproven product when you got guys that have played there and have been loyal to the program and are key pieces to the puzzle. But yeah, again, you look at some of these numbers for guys that are unproven. It's just mind-numbing to me.
Yeah, right. Well, then the other end of it is like, now there's like all these dudes that had an opportunity and they gave it away, and they might not get another opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not that good, the transfer portal is probably not the place you need to put yourself.
To me, I think these kids are just leaving after 1 year, and you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground after 1 year in college.
Right.
You're an idiot when you're 18. All of them are. I don't care what you say. You don't have the life experience to understand that, but you gotta kind of feel out where you are and really be honest with yourself and make a real determination, not just. I hate to break it to all these guys, but 80% of guys on each roster are guys that are there to support, the best players on the team, get them the ball, block for them, whatever it may be. You got 20% of the team that's at Alabama, what was Alabama, at least 20% actually that we're looking at the NFL, but. Most places out there, you don't have that kind of talent. And when you look at the SEC, the big teams in the Big Ten, some of those teams with a lot of boosters. Indiana's one of the exceptions too, because they got Mark Cuban and a few other guys. But there's not a ton of guys out there that are going to get lottery NIL deals like you see in the SEC. And there's some misses. There are some misses. Don't get me wrong, but I think everybody thinks that you sign with Alabama, you're making $1 million. That's just not the case.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
You got 85 guys on scholarship, and you got $20 to $40 million in NIL for the best teams in the country. So. A lot of these kids, I think, are going out in the portal expecting more, and they get a real reality check.
Oh yeah, right. I think for some guys, if you're sitting on the bench, and you get an opportunity to go somewhere, and play, and you put your time in. I could see that. But the borderline to like not very, kind of just regular dudes, they want somebody gives them some bad advice, and then like you said, man, like what do you got? Now not only do you not have a team to play for, you don't get the free education anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Not what you're there for.
I've been in a lot of locker rooms, and if you've played on one team, that guy who isn't very good, who doesn't play much, who lacks accountability just completely, and thinks he should be playing. There's usually a handful of those guys, and you're like, You're like, I mean, you hear them complaining. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? And I mean, a lot of those guys, I'm sure, are those guys that are leaving and getting left without a scholarship, because at the same time, some guys may get treated unfairly, but in the real world, you got to find a way to work with people that don't like you or you don't like, and that's the only way you move up, is by making it work. And I think a lot of guys, they get to where they feel sorry for themselves and kind of don't reach their full potential because they don't put the work in because of a bad attitude.
Right.
And I think in college, I mean, I learned it too. I mean, sometimes you think coaches are sometimes picking on you, but I feel like once you get a little older and you start gaining a little perspective, you realize, hey man, maybe I was the problem,
Yeah, right. Isn't that the truth, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I've been there, but again, I think one of the best things that happened to me was, you had to graduate in order to leave. And I felt like I made the most of my time at Florida State. Made a lot of really close friends. And then once I started to really, buy in and just, hey, I'm making the best of this situation, had way more fun,
Yeah, right. Well, they got to have some kind of guidelines. I mean, I guess they don't have to, but it's just going to keep on being a zoo, right? Like the fact that you had to graduate seems fair to me, right? Like, hey, I graduated, and then that was kind of the carrot to be able to do what you want.
Yeah, you signed that LOI, that letter of intent, and to me, that was the best, the cleanest, mesh point, I would say, or at least the cleanest way to leave was, hey, I fulfilled my duty here. I graduated. I put the work in, and now I've got the option to go somewhere else because, look, I played here for 3 years. I gave this program everything I had, and I did what I said I was going to do. And now you've got the option to leave because, look, I mean, graduating, I don't care if you get – if you're playing football, showing up on time, doing what you're supposed to do, and then you graduate, it shows that you can check all the boxes and you're mature enough to get it done. And I think along the way, it shows a lot of maturity. I mean, there's different levels of maturity. I'm not saying I was mature at 20 years old, but I had definitely grown up a lot and gained a lot of perspective. And again, to me, it shows that, you're willing and disciplined enough to get what needs to be done in order to move on.
Right. Hey, let me tell you guys.
When there's no requirement for that, I mean, are you really ready to move on? Have you learned the lessons you need to learn to make that next decision? I mean, I don't know.
Yep. Hey, we're brought to you by Patriot Roofing and Builders, 205-919-4494. The gang at Patriot has you covered. They do a lot of different stuff. They'll do that free roof inspection over there. Get on your roof, check it out. And then, and if you want a quote, you got that. That's free as well. Will and Justin answer when you call them. They're the guys you talk to, right? And they do it all. I'm not talking about just roofing, but they do roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and full home renovations. So take advantage of those free inspections. And the way that the weather is where we live, you got some pretty bad storms that come through this time of year, right? When you're going from winter to summer, and you got, if your roof goes out, bad things happen. Trust those guys; they got you covered, Patriot. And we've both been there before.
we have both been there. I got a few gray hairs.
Yeah, I saw that. But you know what? I thought Graceland was a nice place. Then I saw some images of Cokerland, and I was like, this place is pretty nice. Might have to come across the bay now. After I saw this Palatius Estate, I was like, oh. Yeah, I was like, whoa, wow. Okay. Hopefully I get the invite. I'm like,
Come on by, pal.
I'm that friend that's like you. I'm like, do you ever see that like the ESPN Sports Center when they used to do those commercials? They were really funny, and they had one where the mascots were trying not to invite the Demon Deacon to the party. Do you remember that one? Like, what are you doing tonight? Oh, nothing.
The main one I remember is when was it he's a hockey mascot. I think it was the New Jersey Devils.
Oh yeah, the Devil.
He's on the elevator and the door opens. The Devil's in there and Scott Van Pelt goes, "Where are you going?" He goes, "Okay."
The best one was like the one where I think it was around the time that we thought that when the year 2000 hit. I think this is when it's from. It's really aging us. But it was the one guy there. I think it was Charlie Steiner, and he's running around and like, follow me to freedom. Like they're all in the office, like and things are just going haywire. It's pretty you don't remember that.
Or the one I think it's Scott Van Pelt again. He's sitting in the King's chair, and LeBron James walks over and goes, "Hey, Scott, you see my chair?" He's just sitting in this red velvet chair. It's like, nope, not me. He goes, "Oh, okay, all right, see you later."
Yeah. Huh. Oh, that's so funny. So practice. Let me give you an update on practice. Bama had their 8th practice on Monday. The spring game's on the 11th, so that's coming. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. You still got Austin Mack versus Keelon Russell, quarterback battle. I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about Josh Ford, the Oklahoma State transfer at tight end. Caleb Edwards is also getting a lot of action at that tight end position.
That's going to be a position to watch right there with Cuevas gone.
Yeah, Cuevas. The gang that came with Kalen DeBoer from Washington, pretty much star players.
Yeah, well, he brought his best, right? I mean,
Brailsford.
Those guys. I mean, how awesome is that? For those guys, you get transferred to Alabama. You've already got a head start because you know all the calls, you know everything about the system that Kalen DeBoer's putting in over there. So you're going to get playing time, and right off the bat, and on top of that, the guys he brought in were studs.
Oh yeah.
Which again, Kalen DeBoer, he did it at Washington with less, and he brought those guys that were SEC players that were just at Washington the year prior.
Right.
But yeah, he's got his work cut out for him this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, really. So this is such a transitional season, and I wonder if Alabama ends up losing, 4 or 5 games, how the fan base is going to react. Because you look at the schedule. Let me pull the schedule up while you're talking, because there's going to be some tough games in there, especially for a team that really has so young.
Well, that's again, that's my main concerns: the youth and the transition. Of course, everybody's going through it with new pieces to the puzzle, year in, year out nowadays. Again, we're just not the ones poaching the best players from the best teams anymore. Those Jamison Williams days might not, they may not ever come again, but we'll see. You never know. I think the House settlement where we get, $20 million to play with in the house because we've got the money is really going to help us. It kind of puts us back in because we've got the revenues, unlike a lot of other schools. I don't know I don't know what Arkansas makes on an annual basis. I mean, A&M makes a ton. Texas makes a ton. Georgia makes a ton. But the Arkansas, the Kentuckys, those middle of the pack teams, I mean, I think it gives us an extra edge, from a revenue standpoint to take some of those guys.
Mm-hmm. So let's roll through this, right? East Carolina, I mean, we should take care of them, right? Kentucky, I mean, I'm hoping, God, if we lose to them, then it's going to be a terrible year. But I mean, look, that's a game you feel like you got to win to have a good season. Florida State at home could be a tough game. Lost to them last year. South Carolina at home, got to beat them. Mississippi State on the road, got to win that game because you get past that. Georgia, you could lose. Tennessee, you could lose there. Texas A&M, you could lose. LSU's there, you could lose that one. Vanderbilt lost last time in Nashville. I hope that we don't lose there twice in a row. Chattanooga, and then Auburn at home, right? So just the ones that you can't guarantee. I mean, none of these you can guarantee, right? But I think Florida State.
You better be able to guarantee two of them.
Well, yeah, right. Off the bat, right? You got to win Chattanooga, and you got to win East Carolina. But like at Kentucky could be a tough game. But with new coach and stuff. But at the beginning of the year, those teams are always like the problem that they have is they don't have depth, right? Maybe they have depth. Florida State beat us last year. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, come on. No, I mean, they beat us last year. South Carolina took a drive that got Ty Simpson hurt at the end of the game to win, right?
I mean, how in the world? Golly, man, that's it doesn't look too bad. Like Florida State, last year was just. I mean, that was a fluke to me. But you pull that schedule back up. You got 4 games in a row where, just a gauntlet. I don't see it now, but Georgia, Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, LSU.
Yeah, I'll put it back up. Hold on, I'll put it back up. Yeah.
Those 4 in a row, gosh, that's going to be a gauntlet. It's going to be like last year where I know we got the bye before the LSU game, which is good, but that 3-game stretch, Georgia, Tennessee, A&M, just week after week, that is a grind right there. Getting up over and over and over again. Tennessee at Tennessee, that's going to be a brutal game.
Texas A&M. I know it's at home, but they got to the college football playoff last year. They went undefeated in the regular season until the last game. South Carolina took everything we had to beat them. Mississippi State got really close on some games last year. They should have beat Texas. They should have beat Florida. They didn't, but you wonder how they're going to look. Georgia beat us in the SEC championship game. We went there and won. You talk about Tennessee. We've lost the last 2 times we've been in Neyland. And LSU with Lane Kiffin. These are tough games, man. This is.
That's going to be the hardest 4-game stretch of any team in the country. No other team, I doubt any other team in the country has a 4-game stretch that tough.
That's tough. Really.
That's one you hope just again, nowadays with the landscape, and hopefully we've had enough games ahead of time to get on the same page and, and get everything, down to a pretty organized fashion. You just got to hope to go 2-2 through that stretch, to be honest with you.
Like if Bama comes out and they're the type of team that they were, like if this was last year, well, I say that, but I think this schedule, if Bama should beat East Carolina, Kentucky, Florida State, South Carolina, Mississippi State, right? Georgia's a toss-up. They're probably going to be favored. Tennessee is going to be favored. Texas A&M is going to probably be pretty close. LSU on the roads, they're going to be favored probably. Vanderbilt on the road. We lost to them last time, but we should beat them, especially that time of year. And they don't have Diego Pavia. Chattanooga's an easy win, and who knows what's going to happen in the Iron Bowl. I hope Alabama beats them again. I mean, obviously, like you should win that one, but it's the Iron Bowl. I never just assume put a dub next to it.
I'm thinking worst case scenario 8-4, best case scenario is 11-1, but most probable is 10-2.
Right.
9-3, 10-2 is most probable.
Yeah.
Because
what if it's 5 losses? What if they lose 5 games or they lose 4 games?
If it's 5 losses, that's going to be. Here's my thought on it: is that Alabama hadn't had time to figure this out and get as creative as possible in funding this roster, and it's just somewhat unfortunate timing for Keelon Deboer.
Right.
Don't get me wrong; the run game last year was inexcusable. Like you can't have that happen. But at the same time, and we had a lot of talent last year, and injuries plagued us.
Yeah.
If Alabama week 4 is the same, if Alabama playoff Alabama, SEC championship Alabama is the same team in week 4 that played Georgia, I think we make a better run in the playoff and probably play a closer game against Indiana. I'm not going to say we beat Indiana because Indiana was a pretty well-oiled machine, as they got into the playoff, playing with a lot of confidence. But, again, the team that was playing in the playoff was nowhere near what the team was against Georgia first time around.
Yeah.
But I think financially, Keelon Deboer is kind of in a pickle for this year's roster. I mean, just being honest. Again, Texas is not going to have the type of financial, I'm not going to say instability, but financial issues where they're getting guys from small schools predominantly.
Right. Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I hope he has a hell of a coaching year because that's what's going to be needed. And
that's where he proves himself, like where people kind of doubt him.
Yeah, and there's nobody that knows. I mean, run game solves a lot of issues from clock management to taking pressure off quarterbacks and 3rd and long situations. I mean, how many times do we see Ty Simpson, convert on 3rd down? And if not for his just mental processing ability, his accuracy, do we lose? I mean, we lose against Georgia at Georgia. The amount of 3rd down conversions that he got, just unbelievable. Then you got creativity from Ryan Grubb in the 4th quarter to seal the deal. I mean, going all the way to Caden Proctor catching a almost touchdown pass. Didn't have that on my bingo list prior to last year's season. But, again, at some point the creativity runs out and you got to be able to run the ball. So,
yeah,
to help whoever's the quarterback next year and to make up for the lack of depth we have on defense, which, again, I'm making an assumption here because of who we lost. We're going to have a lack of depth. Hopefully I'm surprised. But you're not going to be able to stick that defense out there for most of the game like we did last year and hope they hold up.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to get hurt at some point in the season. And you're going to be playing with a lesser deck of cards. So the run game solves a lot of issues, and you got to be able to have it. And look, Keelon Deboer's made the moves, I think, to get there. Are we going to have the players to do it?
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, 100%. I think you said it well. I think this is a year where Keelon Deboer could. I mean, I don't want to say. Well, he has had some critics. I mean, really, he has. the national media just loves to crap all over him. And he had a really difficult challenge to come in and try to replace Nick Saban. And I think that there's coaches on his staff that would have loved for him to take the Michigan job. That's not a hunch. But he's stuck with Alabama, and we need to stick by him.
No, that's right. I mean, that's been my argument. Look, you don't. I think it was a pretty hard coaching search, to find the guy that's going to replace Coach Saban. I don't think anybody wanted to do it, and to have a guy who hadn't made it Washington. I mean, I don't remember the contract details, what kind of bump in salary he got coming to Alabama or what his buyout is. But, you win at Alabama and it's expected, and you lose at Alabama and you destroy the program. I mean, that's essentially what the situation you're looking at. And for a guy who probably had the opportunity to go to Michigan next year or, for next year to stick with Alabama, you got to appreciate that and get behind that guy, And like I said, I think I think he's kind of in a position where he's sent to battle with a, maybe not fully loaded gun, just because of, again, the NIL.
The disparity between the top teams and where Alabama is. Yeah. I'm not saying Alabama isn't spending, but they're not spending enough because there's other teams that are out there that are buying our players away from us. And we can't have that happen.
Well, and it's like we talked about on this show before. Football is a moneymaker, and that's what's built that city. I mean, you remember what it was like before Coach Saban was there. And look, Alabama's the most storied football program in the country.
Yeah.
But when Coach Saban got there and wanted the clip that he won, that city is unrecognizable in comparison to what it was before he got there. I mean, it is crazy just the development that's gone on in that city. Coach Saban was underpaid for what he did in Tuscaloosa.
No doubt. I agree with that. I agreed with that from the beginning.
And look, the infrastructure there, it needs a good football program. I mean, to keep feeding that beast. So there's a lot of pressure there, and we got to figure it out. There's no way around it. And with this house settlement, that $22 million, the majority of it needs to go to Alabama. I mean, it needs to go to football. It just is what it is. Mm-hmm. And I want to see Nate Oates at Alabama as long as possible. I'd love to see it there, but it's got to be between those two sports, and football's king.
Oh yeah, look, dude, that's it, man. I mean, I agree. Hey, let me tell you guys this. Keith's got you covered. You talk about king. You want to live like a king? You want to go somewhere and feel like a king? Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. Back to back coastal style hotel of the year. I mean, they are the reigning and undisputed champions of comfort, class, and obviously views at Residence Inn by Marriott Ocean City. So Keith's got you covered down there. Check them out. Ocean City, Maryland. Great place. Secrets. The green turtle. Did you ever wear your green turtle hoodie? That thing is so comfortable.
Oh yeah. That's my lounge hoodie, sleep hoodie. When
so good. Yep. The boardwalk there.
If I get too comfortable on the couch for that hoodie on, I'm probably on the couch for the night.
Right.
Probably happening.
Nobody comes down and gets you. They just leave you down there.
Oh yeah. Good luck.
How's life?
Say my wife's 5'2". It ain't happening.
Oh yeah, she's not bringing you up there. But what I was going to say is, how's life now that you're not all crammed into your her like bedroom that she grew up in? Now that you're at the place, it's a state, Do you have a name? Do you guys have a name for like where you live? Like it just seems like one of those places that would have like a name like on the gate.
You're spreading misinformation. It's nothing crazy.
And you're like I don't know, what would it be? It'd be something like football related. Hail Mary Estates. Did you ever throw a Hail Mary that got caught in the game?
No. Not high school.
So
cool. Felt like I was throwing Calvin Ridley every now and then, just launch it up there and see what happens, and all of a sudden he just appeared underneath it.
He just caught it. Yeah. Deep ball. It's deep ball estates.
Yeah. Kind of threw one up to Ardarius Stewart against Ole Miss. I saw the pressure coming, just launched it up there and hope for the best, and the worst happened. So.
I could see that, like just like a football with the Coker brand on it, for your like when you're out on the range, your cattle and stuff.
Laces out.
Yeah. I like that. Laces out. You're not gonna tell us common folk like what the state name is, because you don't want anybody showing up and harassing your Longhorns or something. But I can't wait to come over. I'm so excited about it. I'm bringing my bathing suit. Little hoops. Woo!
Oh my God.
You might be good.
Move some furniture around.
Hey, and I gotta tell you, I got a message from Shank. Bring it. He's ready.
No, he's ready, huh?
He said don't underestimate his game. And you look at him and you're like, okay, he's going to take the paint over, right? You're like, he's going to dominate down low. And he says he can also shoot from outside. He might take you off the dribble.
We'll see about that.
I want to see him take you off the dribble and just dunk on you.
I'm not afraid to cut through the shit early and just foul the hell out of them.
I can see that. I know that. I can see that in your face. You do that to him.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I got dunked on in high school by DeMarcus Cousins one time. And
he was a pretty good one, by the way.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I felt extremely violated with what landed on my neck. When he dunked and landed on my shoulders. And,
Are you saying you got teabagged?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. That dude he's got to be one of the best basketball players from the state in the last 20 some years.
Oh, he's got to be. I mean,
would Oates have gotten him to stay at Alabama? I think he might have.
I think he might have, actually. I don't know. I just remember I was a sophomore when he was a senior. I was like 6'3", 170 pounds, and it was
slim.
Oh yeah, they had two guys that he played at LaFleur. There was two guys on that team. DeMarcus Cousins, he was 6'10", and then they had another guy went and played at South Alabama that was 6'11", a high school team with two dudes 6'10" or taller. And the tallest guy we had was 6'3". It was me and one other guy that was 6'3". And I mean, we just got boat raced.
like coming into that game, like, did you stand up and give like the locker room speech? Hey, let me tell you guys something right now. We may be outmatched, but we're not outhearted, okay?
No.
And then you get out on the court and you're like this. And you're a big guy. I mean, you're a big guy now. I mean, you were tall back then, but a guy that's 6'10".
Yeah, dude, I weigh 80 pounds more right now than I weighed back then. I mean, how crazy is that?
Just think, did he win a national championship?
I don't think so. I don't think
They were
did.
good though. He went to Kentucky. I remember.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Anthony Davis won one, and he wasn't. Markins wasn't on that team. I don't think
They had they Kentucky. The thing about Kentucky is that with all the money they're spending in NIL for basketball, $22 million for Alabama, which I'm sure isn't even close to that, to consistently be better. It's a problem, man. And I mean, I think that, like, I'm glad that Greg Burns basically got Nate Oates where he doesn't want to leave, because Nate Oates is the cheat code, man.
Oh, we'll always be relevant with him. He'll find guys. He'll just, I mean, because as you've seen, I mean, he gets guys from all over the place that aren't from big schools that just want to play on a big level, and a lot of those guys that can shoot maybe a little undersized, but he finds a way to. I mean, that team that went to the Final Four, Grant Nelson and Mark Sears. I mean, you're not talking about guys that are going to be first-round draft picks in the NBA. You're talking about just hard hat winners.
Yeah, I've got him on this Daniel Moore print back here. Yeah. Where is Mark Sears now?
I think he's with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Is he?
But yeah.
He made his NBA debut October 25, but was waived by the Bucks on January 7th and joined their G League affiliate, the Wisconsin Herd.
Yeah, okay, that's right. I think he's bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
I think Grant Nelson's playing a little bit though for the Nets.
Let's see. I always loved it.
Hey, we doing the tailgate show for the spring game?
I don't know yet.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I got to figure it out. I know you and Cruz want to do it, and I think that's cool. I just got baseball that started this week, so I got to kind of get that kind of figured out. All right, Grant Nelson is currently in the Brooklyn Nets organization, primarily playing for the G League affiliate, the Long Island Nets. And he is sidelined for the remainder of the year, it says.
Oh, wow. Well, I was wrong.
I wonder what those games are like. Have you ever been to one of the, is it the Squadron? Don't the Birmingham has one, right?
I don't know. I don't know if they do or not. I'd go to a G League game, though. I bet those are fun.
Yeah, you love basketball.
But yeah, we need to figure out a spring game deal. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you're getting antsy. Well, that's the only way we're going to be able to watch it.
Yeah,
we're going to actually have to go. The only way.
I know those guys will be excited. Spring game, whenever spring was over, it was always, summertime was about to start. That game was always a really good time.
Yeah.
But the whole worst part about spring was, there was no game that you were preparing for. So Coach Saban just made you run after every practice. And then I remember I was always trying to gain weight. Man, I wanted to play at 240, 245, and I'd always hang around 235. So I'd eat a bunch. And when I'd get to 240 or 245, they'd be like, you got to lose weight, And like Lane, all of a sudden Lane was like, yeah, y'all are going to run after you get done running for Coach Saban. And Lane was like, dude, really? I mean, you just kind of look at Lane like we'd run he'd make us run across the field back and forth. And it was, Lane was always goofy as shit. So you'd be like, I mean, seriously, you're going to make us run right here? And we had, I'd just be like, I can just stop eating as much. I'm not one of those guys who just hammers food and I can't help myself.
Oh yeah, right.
That's actually my goal.
Yeah, unlike me, because I do that. I you go to Philip M. Steakhouse, and get that, Pittsburgh flair or whatever they call that on your steak,
That's what we had when I
so good, man. And then I can't stop eating it. I'm like, I'm going to eat all this.
when I was a freshman at Florida State, we had a strength coach, Joe Danos, and a great guy. Your strength coach who was coaching your position group, you become friends with.
Yeah.
And when I was a true freshman, I was just trying to gain weight as fast as I could. So I was eating, everything in sight. And I got up to 250 pounds, which I realized there's a smart way to gain weight after that.
That wasn't it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did have a little bit of a gut. I was like offensive lineman in shape, fat, but I could still run. And I remember I was doing sit-ups and my shirt came up and my gut was hanging out, and Joe's like, what the hell is this? Like, what are you doing? I was doing crunches or something at the end of a workout. And I was just like, well, you're the fucking coach. It was like, I'm just a product of your coaching. He's like, oh,
God, what world is it that that must be a great world where you have to really work hard to gain weight. I don't know that world. I know the world where you have to work really hard to lose weight or to stay at it.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite end of that. I mean, I was drinking the weight gain shakes and all that, gaining weight. Eating whatever the hell I wanted to eat. It was a great feeling. I'd only gained 2 pounds a week doing all that. But if I ate normal, I'd just be in really damn good shape. But
yeah, because you're out there playing all the time and stuff. Well, look, man, I think we did a good show today. I really do. I enjoy these casual conversations. I hope you guys do too. Make sure you get in the comments section. Make sure that you subscribe to the next round. Tell everybody this, man, that the show is called Last Call now, and we're on the Next Round channel. I think some people got confused when we were on Elephant in the Room, and that was on Cover Crimson. We wish them nothing but the best, but this is where the show is now. So make sure that you check it out. We're trying to give you guys 2 quality episodes a week, at least 1 quality episode, and maybe kind of okay on the other one with the best we can do. 50-50. Yep. No, I'm just 2 great episodes, people. We're coming at you every Tuesday and then kind of Thursday, depending on our schedule. All right, brother. Well, look, great talking to you. You guys, roll Tide. We'll decide what we're doing for the 8A game. Getting a lot of pressure here to go to Tuscaloosa. Don't forget that Pearl River Resort is one of the promoters, one of the partners for this year's mullet toss at the floor of Bama. We're going to have a mullet toss preview.
We need to have a mullet. Year. Yeah, mullet toss practice.
This is the year. This is the year where the upset happens.
Get Barron to get us some mullets. I know he's got he's probably supplying them to the floor of Bama.
He said he would. I was at this is a true story, and we gotta go. But I was at Joe Patty's in Pensacola.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they had all those mullets, and I was like, God, I should buy one, freeze it, and then practice. Take it down to Fairhope Beach and just practice.
I can see, little Jockner just beating the hell out of you with a frozen mullet.
Just throw, get back, throw, regimented routine. But would that be cheating? Would that be cheating if I practiced?
I don't know. With your skill set, you probably need it.
Okay. It's all motivation, friend. It's all motivation. All right. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. I keep telling you guys, the Timeout Sports Lounge is a Vegas-style sports book. You don't have to go all the way out to Vegas. You're not going to have to pay those high, hey, I want a table, and here's put down $700. It doesn't work like that. You just go in, There's a full-size bar, 20 big screen TVs. You got everything you need there for a fantastic experience. And you can bet. You got the windows. You got the kiosks. There's 4 teams remaining in the college basketball world, and they'll be facing off, and then a championship game and other stuff, too, that you can bet on. You can do all that at Pearl River Resort Timeout Sports Lounge, and then play Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, which is the Augusta you can play. All right, Jake, I'm going to play your commercial. Let's watch it again and see if we can pick something else out on here.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve,
Hey, Jake, you ready to rock?
let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna face reality.
I tell you, Jake still got game. While Steve keeps rocking aces. Boom, Jake seals it with a pick.
Come call your own plays.
At Pearl River Resort, let's roll.
I don't have to be me till Monday,